So if you would like to learn how to build a really solid training foundation, one in which will help you torch fat, sculpt your body and do more push-ups than your husband after you challenge him to a push-up duel, then listen to this video. I'm basically going to share the process that I use to help new clients with very little experience in regards to strength training build a really solid foundation and go from a beginner to a beast within 12 weeks. So most new members are coming on board with no experience, and prior to doing their first online session, I'll ask them, can you do a press up and a squat? Most members will say that they can, but when I get them onto their first workout session and ask them to demonstrate both of the exercises, most of them can't do the exercises correctly and safely. All right, so my approach, I prioritize technique over intensity. In the past, when I started out as a trainer, I thought the hallmark of an effective workout was clients being unable to breathe at the end of them and feeling as if they're going to throw up. I was very, very wrong. Now, as I'm more experienced, I've realized that unless a client has the technique close to master, they're well experienced and well versed in performing certain exercises, they shouldn't push themselves too much. All right, so again, I prioritize technique over intensity, and the way I help clients build really good technique with multiple exercises is by first getting them to focus on just 2, maybe 3 exercises. So instead of getting them to do 15 different exercises and breaking a sweat in their first workout, most clients won't even break a sweat. They'll focus on just 2 exercises, the press up and the squat. I'll show them how to do both exercises safely and correctly. So in terms of the squats, doing them in a way where their knees aren't vulnerable to injury, and the same with their lower back. I'll show them how to engage the muscles of the legs, the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, and also their core as well. In terms of the press up, I'll start them first with a kneel and press up and show them how to do with good form where they're keeping their elbows, their shoulders, and also their back safe, and learning to engage the muscles that the exercise is supposed to work. Now, we'll focus on those 2 exercises within the first week or so, and when clients begin to get quite good at both of the exercises, we then progress. So maybe in the second week, I'll add 1 or 2 other exercises into the mix, so they'll continue to practice the press ups and the squat, but I'll then teach them how to do a hip hinge. Now, a hip hinge is vital if you want to strengthen and tone your back muscles, but also your hamstrings and your glutes or your bum. Knowing how to do a hip hinge is very, very, very important. Why? Well, the 2 basic fundamental exercises for targeting both your back along with your hamstrings and your glutes, you have the row for the upper body or for the back, which you need to be able to do a hip hinge in order to perform the exercise safely and correctly, and then with the lower body, so the hamstrings and the glutes, a Romanian deadlift, which also requires you to be able to do a hip hinge safely and correctly. So within the second or so week, we'll focus on that as well, and once they get used to the hip hinge, I'll then show them how to do both the row and the Romanian deadlift. So after 3 to 4 weeks, they get quite good at a singular exercise for each of the major muscle groups. So a press up for the chest, rows for the back, for the quads, squats for the hamstrings and glutes, Romanian deadlift. So they get quite good at those between 3 to 4 weeks. We continue to practice, and as the weeks progress and as their technique and performance of the exercises, I should say, continues to improve, I'll then gradually incorporate more complex exercises into the mix. So I'll show them a separate exercise for the chest, a different exercise for the back, for the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, so on and so forth. And after roughly 8 to 12 weeks of taking that gradual approach, they get really good at strength training. So that's basically the approach that I take with clients. And if you're considering getting into strength training but you don't have any experience in regards to doing it, I'd encourage you to do the same thing. So that's basically that. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you not only build a really solid training foundation, but also show you how to set up your nutrition in a way that is convenient, enjoyable, and that will get you results and help you maintain them long term, click on the link in the description below.